Hi, it's Following the Paper Trail with Laura, and I just wanted to show you how I made this mini album. I gave you a little bit of a sneak peek of how it was coming out when I put the kit up for sale, which it did sell out within 24 hours. I was really surprised at how quickly some of these kits are going. So gotta be fast. I'm sorry, because I only usually make about 12 kits. I rarely make more than 12. Sometimes I can get talked into more, but generally it's about a dozen, so you gotta be quick. One thing I do is I always put it up on my Etsy before I put the YouTube video up. So if you see the YouTube video, Johnny on the spot, get over to Etsy store. So anyway, I tried doing this in one part and it's not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the album, and then I will actually go through the album and show you the album. But I want to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at. The pages like this are made from 2.5 standard number 10 envelopes, which is just your standard long envelope, not the flap kind like I've been using, just your good old basic flap on the side business kind of envelope. You can get them in stationery stores in different colors, that sort of thing, but it is just a standard number 10 envelope. On one side it has 2 pockets. This one's about 3.5 to 2, and then there's a pocket that goes in the center, and then on the other side it's got a smaller pocket and a large pocket up at the top. So let me show you how to make those pages, and then I will go ahead and make a second video showing you going through the whole album, just because I couldn't quite get it done in the 10 minutes. It's amazing how fast 10 minutes goes by, especially when you talk too much like I do. Okay, so you're going to have 2 envelopes that you're going to start out with, that you are going to cut them down to 9 inches tall. So that makes it to where you're cutting both ends off, not just one end, because you want it essentially to be a tube. So you're going to cut both ends off. The first one, then, you're going to come up 1.5 inches from one of the cut ends, and you're going to score it and fold it. And now I got some just little tape there just for demonstration purposes to tack it down. If I were doing this for real, I would be putting glue all over that back side, because this opening creates the pocket. So you don't need it open on that back side, and you want it to be nice and secure, so you tape that down with your favorite adhesive. The second envelope, you're going to, again, trim it to the 9 inches. A standard number 10 envelope is 9.5 inches long. So you're going to trim it to 9 inches. You're going to then score and fold it at 3.5 inches. So you'll fold that up. So then you'll have a 3.5 inch pocket, and then this whole thing is going to be about 5.5 inches. How you're going to make the pages, then you're going to put these back to back to where, here's your 3.5 inch pocket, the 5.5 inch. This one's actually 7.5, so it's every 2 inches it steps up. So you'll have a pocket, a pocket, a pocket. On this side, you've got that pocket, and here's that last pocket that's from the other side. Well, when I put this together, I go, oh, cool. But I got all this space in between here, but I also didn't want to rely on just being taped to create the pocket there. Also, it's like, oh, how am I going to bind this? So what I did is I took the third envelope, and I just cut it in half. You do not trim the ends off. Leave this at the 9.5, so you're going to just cut it in half. That's at what? 4 3/4, I think is how the math works out, that you'll just cut that right in half. Boop! Magic. I'm amazing. Yeah. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the open end and line it up with the edge of the pocket that has the 3.5 inch pocket. So line that edge and line that top edge up there. Stick those together. Put all sorts of adhesive over that. So this is going to stick out about 1/2 inch. This is going to hang down about, roughly 1.5 inches. Then you're going to take this whole assembly and attach it to the back side of the taller pocket. And you're going to, again, use adhesive. If you have to draw a little line, that's going to get covered up with pencil to mark so that you know where on this envelope to put the adhesive. Go ahead and do that. So that's going to get attached like so. What that's going to look like, I've got one all put together, though it's in black, so it's going to make it kind of hard to see. I wasn't thinking about that. Anyway, so here's your 3.5 inch pocket, and then 2 inches up, that 5.5 inch pocket, and then that top pocket. Here's the pocket that's on the side, as you can see. And then on this side, here's that 1.5 inch pocket, and then that top pocket. That little flange that sticks out, you're going to use that for to bind. Now you can punch rings in it, or punch holes in it to put rings or ribbon like I did on this one here, or as I'm doing on this one, you can punch bind it all holes so that you can use your bind it all if you've got one. Either way works just fine. However, with the holes, I do, after I've got it all put together, I think I'm going to go back and put eyelets in there. I'm just out of eyelets right at the moment, so I'm going to put some eyelets in there. The bind it all, I think, works just fine. The next step you're going to want to do is be covering over your pages with your pretty pattern paper. As we know from last week, I know a lot of people can't live without their paper, and I got to do the drawing for that too. So anyway, this bottom section is going to be, let's put it right side up so you can see that it's going to be 4 inches by 3.5 inches, because I like about an 1/8 of an inch all the way around my pattern paper to let that envelope show, especially if I went out and bought some nice colored envelopes. I want them to show. So that's the one at the bottom. Then this next one slips down inside that pocket a little bit to cover over the raw edge of that back side of the pocket, so then your tags slip in and out easily. So that one's 4 by 2.5. And then this top one is also 4 by 2.5. Again, just slip that end in before you stick it down. So that's what one side's going to look like. 4 by 2.5, 2.5, and then 4 by 3.5. On this back side here, you're going to do a 4 by 1.25 inches to cover over this bottom section. And then you need at least a 4 by 6 to cover over this, but it doesn't all have to be in one. That's what doesn't want to go down. There we go. 4 by 6 to cover over that. Now, I did this a little bit differently on this one. Is rather than cutting it 4 by 6, I did it in 2 pieces. There's no pocket here, but because I just like visually how it was going to look, I just to balance out this at here, I did 1.5 inches here, and to balance, or 1.25 inches, just like I did 1.25 inches here. So then that works out to where I think I did this 4 by 5, and so a little bit more slips down inside the pocket, which is just fine. It covers over that back raw edge. The other thing I did on this one is I cut a half circle out at the top of the envelope for the finger pull, because I looked upon this tag as being accessible from this side rather than from this side, so that there was 2 pockets on each side. So I just cut a little finger pull hole. It could be round, it could be pretty much any shape you want it to be. So anyway, that's how you put together your pages. I did 6 pages in this book, which takes 15 envelopes, because it's 2.5 envelopes per page. So if I'm doing 6 pages, 2 times 12, or 2 times 6 is 12, plus 6 times a half is 6, so that 6 times a half is 3. So that gives me the 15 envelopes to do a 6 page. So tons of pockets, tons of room, lots and lots of opportunity for photos and journaling. I like to just stuff them chock full. So I have a couple of more envelope minis coming up, because I'm liking to kind of push the envelope right now. Okay, I had to pause so you had opportunity to laugh. That was one of my better jokes. I know. It's pretty lame, but anyway, I'm going to do a second video showing how this envelope, this mini ended up coming out, and for the dimensions and all that kind of stuff, you can check out my blog. I'm also going to be posting the winner of the little giveaway that I'm doing on my blog, since you needed to put your comments on my blog to be entered into that drawing. I know some of you did here on YouTube, and I'm sorry, but I can't chase them down all over every which way. So if you entered on my blog, you'll be in for the drawing. So anyway, check out my blog for that, and I will be talking with you soon. Thanks for coming to What's Up Wednesday.